Thank you to the judges in the British Columbia Supreme Court that looked at this from a scientific point of view, an ethical point of view, and sided with the patients like Ramo and myself and many more that cannot speak for themselves, cannot stand up and do what we're doing now and bring this sort of information to you. I think it's huge. Alright, welcome back to another edition of Cannabis in Canada with Jason Wilcox. I'm kicking here with Ramo,
hey, everybody.
The urban grower, and who's doing a lot of different things. But today we're talking about the R versus Smith case. It is a BCCA docket 322, I believe it is. R versus Smith, which was up in the Provincial Appeals Court today, which is a three-circuit appeals court. Now, I had the pleasure of attending the previous arguments to be able to hear the factums from the Crown and from Mr. Tusaw, and I found it fascinating that the science was upheld by the courts, and it's now legal for medical patients such as myself and Ramo to be able to use extractions in the province of British Columbia, and it's case precedent setting for the rest of the country and for the MMPR coalition who are fighting for extractions. So Ramo, tell us a bit about what this decision means for you.
Well, for me personally, it means I can use extract because I like making extract. Every once in a while when I need an extra little bit of medicine, that's the way to go. And I can safely have medibles now. And actually, I have a company, and we're actually developing recipes for medibles, and now we can legally do that. And I'm excited about it. In fact, I'm so excited, I rolled this big fat joint, and me and Jay are gonna smoke it right here, right now.
We are.
Is that the plan?
That's the plan. And we're gonna talk more about what this really means, because to me, you know, the thing is, for 13 years, they've told us you can't have extractions. Patients went ahead and made extractions because we know what works for us. It was when the babies, Dr. Sanjay Gupta came out and put babies, stop seizuring, no more brain damage, because traditional pharmaceutical drugs failed. Now in British Columbia, babies will not die or suffer as a result of failed drug policy by any government, and that is huge. So thank you to the judges in the British Columbia Supreme Court that looked at this from a scientific point of view, an ethical point of view, and sided with the patients like Ramo and myself and many more that cannot speak for themselves, cannot stand up and do what we're doing now and bring this sort of information to you. I think it's huge. I think the fact that patients no longer have to fear persecution for how much extracts they have on them, or if a cop stops them and their license doesn't permit extracts. I love the fact that the government, or the judge said, the justices, in this case 3 judges, they basically said, we're not going to order the legislation, which we already know. But the one thing they did do is that they struck down the plant material as being unconstitutional. So again,
I got a question. How's this going to affect our court case here with the MMPR Coalition Against Repeal? Well, this is huge, isn't it?
It is. Both of us not being lawyers. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but the one thing I do know is we've been studying this. We were going to use the win, lose, or draw. We were going to use the science in Smith, no matter what, because of it was simply sound science from the lower courts on up. Now we've got a constitutional Supreme Court victory in the province of British Columbia, and we're going into court in February 2015 to fight this with a new big rock for Mr. Conroy that says it is okay to have extractions in this country, and that allowing babies to die as a result of failed policy is no longer going to be allowed. This unethical approach to marijuana policy is going to fail. And I hope that the greed that some of it's going on out there will lessen, and the courts will continue to prevail, and ethics will reside over the medical issue of medical marijuana in the country of Canada.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, man.
Congratulations, Ted and Owen, for winning this for everybody, really. Thanks, guys. And
Ted, as you know, you and I go all the way back, man. I remember working with you, and you were fighting extractions with the cookies back then, and you're fighting it now, and brother, you won. Congrats, big up to you, big up to Owen. You stood your ground, Owen. You don't face any persecution. Most importantly, you changed the lives. We need to remember 50% of all federal licenses. We're talking about 18,000 people in British Columbia. You just helped their lives today, legally and officially. And for that, we thank you. You know, from the MMPR Coalition to you, thank you very much.
Thank you. Actually, this joint's for you.
This joint's for you.
We're smoking this in your guys' honor.
And this toke's for you. So this is Jason Wilcox. We wanted to give you a brief update on that, and of course, once again, friends, extractions are now legal in the province of British Columbia and soon to be the country of Canada. This
Awesome.
is Jason Wilcox, and we'll see you in the next show. Cheers.